From satellites connecting the world from low Earth orbit to a modest hamlet in a remote Pacific island, the humble semiconductor chip has changed the way we live and work around the world. However, the semiconductor industry relies on a complex supply chain and global trade of raw materials and technologies. Not surprisingly, the recent global supply chain crisis triggered by the pandemic and Ukraine war created a perfect storm for the industry. The chip shortage is not over yet, but the simmering geopolitical tension between the US and China now poses a threat of another disruption, as Taiwan remains the center of global chips manufacturing. Taiwan produces 60% of world's total semiconductor chips and 90% of advanced sub-10 nanometer chips. The world's largest contract chip manufacturing company, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing or TSMC, and the world's biggest outsourced semiconductor assembly and test or OSAT provider, Advanced Semiconductor Engineering Inc., also known as ASE Group, are from Taiwan. Considering the geopolitical tension in the region, chip manufacturers in Taiwan are exploring relocation to the US and other Asian countries to build chip manufacturing facilities or fabs. TSMC has already started building a fab in US, Arizona, and majority of Taiwan's OSAT firms are reportedly moving to Malaysia's Penang Island, but India is yet to attract any major OSAT firms from Taiwan.
You see, for anybody to come and invest in our country, they are looking for a few things to happen. Firstly, ease of setting up or investing in our country. It should be easy. And ease of doing business overall. I think that is a challenge that Taiwanese company always face in India compared to other Southeast Asian countries like Philippines or Thailand or Malaysia. So one challenge they see is that investment climate in terms of the ease of getting approvals, compliances needs to be improved upon. Number one. Number two is that why would anybody want to invest here, particularly in the considering the fact that semiconductors are in zero duty regime. So any semiconductor that is imported into the country, it does not attract any duty. So why would anybody, and semiconductor requires scale. So, they have their OSAT companies in Taiwan or in other countries where they are able to cater to the larger market. And if they come and set it up here, what is the advantage? There is no duty barrier. There is no non-fiscal barrier. So, they say we might as well, produce it at the current locations where we are producing, or we produce it at places from where it is easy to export. So that's why they prefer destinations like Thailand or Malaysia. They don't seem to prefer India as a investment destination for OSAT or ATMP, semiconductor packaging.
For over a decade, India has expressed interest in the semiconductor industry and aspires to be a hub in the region. In 2021, the government announced a design-linked incentive scheme to offer financial assistance and infrastructure support for semiconductor design. US-based chipmaker Micron is also in the final stages of getting clearance to set up an assembly, testing, marking and packaging plant in India, also known as ATMP plant. While absence of Taiwan's OSAT firms was seen as a setback for the country, the recent Foxconn Vedanta JV is now seen as the start of a Delhi-Taipei engagement. Industry observers believe Taiwan's OSAT firms are concerned about India's lack of expertise in the field and ease of doing business. Reliable power supply and abundant water are essential requirements of semiconductor manufacturing, which continues to be the areas of concern. Skilled employees and transport infrastructure are among the other stumbling blocks.
India has to, sell the idea of that India itself is a very big domestic market. And there are certain segments in the electronics space which are fast growing. Whether it is mobile phones, whether it is IT hardware, whether it is electric vehicles, whether it is telecommunication, consumer electronics, etc., which all of them use semiconductors, and therefore semiconductor packaging is necessary. So what India has to do is aggregate the market demand and prove it to these investors that India has a huge demand which is only going to grow.
According to specialist talent solution company Xfino, India currently has more than 1.3 lakh skilled professionals to cater to the needs of this industry. But most of their skills are still at entry levels. There is lack of talent at the expert levels. However, chairperson of the Electronic Industries Association of India is optimistic about the industry's growth in India in the years to come.
Already we have seen the first memory packaging unit break ground in India. The first ATMP project is from Elsina member Sersa Semiconductors, which is operational now in Bhiwadi. The building is ready. The machines have moved in. They've started commercial production and the first commercial invoice has been cut. Okay, so it is no longer theory. It is actually happening on the ground. So we just have to wait for the government to take its appropriate, actions. Give them time. I'm sure the results will come.
While the government is keen on its semiconductor ambitions, it needs to deploy proactive efforts to attract international chip manufacturing, assembly, and packaging firms. This would include providing a stable and lasting policy environment and infrastructure for years to come. If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views, and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and LinkedIn.